Um, first, I want to elaborate. First, I want to elaborate on what you just said. You know, about the youth and everything like that, and the way they coming up. You know, things like that. You know, and not listen. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna say not listening, but I'm gonna more or less say, the message is being lost now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying, he just said, we not here glamorizing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I got to tell my testimony. Sometimes my message and the way that I talk to him, you know, it resonates with him. You know what I'm saying? You got to think, is half of the dudes that I'm trying to reach, that's 13, 14 years old, I be talking, them little niggas been there killed somebody, man. I ain't walking up to them with no Bible, talking about, you know, brother man this and brother man that, cause they gonna tell me, man, you better go, you know what I'm saying, you better go ahead on, and one of them might steal me and knock me down, man. So I got my way. So, you know, I walk up to him and talk to him like, you know, big unk. It's always respect. You know, I don't never go up to him in no disrespectful way, but I go up to him cussing. Yeah, I be cussing my ass off, you know what I'm saying? I call some of them young, dumb motherfuckers. They be laughing like a motherfucker. They probably saying, man, Unc burnt out like a motherfucker, but they feel the energy and they feel the love and they feel the motherfucking real nigga vibe in me. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't here trying to say no world and nothing like that. Motherfucker asked me the other day, man, why you doing all this and that? No, I ain't about that, man. It's just like, man, I wish motherfucker would have talked to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that we did do is we listened, man. We listened to them old ass, drunk ass niggas under that tree. We ain't had iPhones and shit like that to raise us. We had to listen to them old drunk ass stories, but you know, a lot of that shit was true. You gotta think, if you 12 years old and you standing under a tree with a motherfucker 40 or 50 years old, and you hearing all this game on how to please a woman and, you know, how to do this, or, you know what I'm saying, and you know, you play the slow music and you know, you listen to the Isley Brothers, and that's the God, you know what I'm saying, that's like the tutelage of what we come from. And now it's like the dumb raising the dumb. You know, so I'm here, man, to, you know, try to help one. You know, maybe one can help, you know, one, and that one can help another. That's what I'm trying to do, man. And this ain't just started for me when I got out of prison. I was in prison doing this shit. I might, listen, man, I might walk in a room full of young niggas. It's 5 of them in there. They're in there smoking and drinking and everything. And when I say young, I'm talking about 21, 22, 23, nigga. I'm damn near 50 then. And I go in that motherfucker and sit down and talk shit and get in their head and this and that and go to laughing. But what I was doing is I was trying to just stay up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to be no old nigga stuck in a penitentiary state of mind and not being able to get out and not being able to kind of relate to the youth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always, you know what I'm saying? I always kept a few young niggas close to me because they didn't know they needed me, but I also needed them. You know what I'm saying? And it ended up paying off in the end because I got relationships, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about I got some, you know what I'm saying, certified young niggas that was steppers on the streets that I fucked with in prison that I gave a whole lot of game to, man. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't just no shit I'm saying. These are facts. You know what I'm saying? We can fact check this motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's what I'm here to do, man, to get a motherfucking message. As far as Big Sandy, that what you asked me on?
Yeah, Big Sandy.
As far as Big Sandy, Big Sandy, I would have to say is one of the top 3, probably the most dangerous federal prison in the United States of America. You got Pollock, you got Big Sandy, then, you know, you got a couple of West Coast, you know, Atwater, Victorville, you know what I'm saying? But on this East Coast, it's pretty much Big Sandy, man. I went there on the SIS investigation. And for what people don't know what that is, SIS is like the feds inside the feds investigating you. So I was so fucked up at that time, and what I mean fucked up, I was hustling and I was just living my way in there, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been on no drugs and nothing, I was just thugging. To the feds inside the feds, they investigated me and shipped my ass on a mountain. And that's where Big Sandy come in at.
So how did you find out you were going to Big Sandy?
Well, prior to them shipping me off from Coleman, I sat in the SHU, and the SHU is special housing unit, you know, in the state they call it confinement. But yeah, I sat in the SHU, that's a special housing unit, which would be called confinement in regular state joints. But I sat in there 6 months, and they came back and told me, hey, boom, 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 because I was in limbo. I ain't know where I was going. Then, they came by one day, my counselor, and told me I was going to Big Sandy. And everybody, whether or not you've been to Big Sandy or not, you done heard of it. You done heard of the horror stories, you know what I'm saying?
So how do you prepare yourself to go up there? How long did it take, actually? I mean, how long took you to go up there?
Well, I was in the SHU for 6 months, and when they told me that, I was gone maybe 3 weeks later. But we all network. And what I mean by that is, once I found out that I was going to Big Sandy, at that point, it was my job to try to find out which one of my homies over there, like dudes I done did time with, you know what I'm saying? Because that's very important that I need to know that, you know what I'm saying? Because this is I'm out of bounds, I'm on a mountain, I'm in Kentucky, you know what I'm saying? This ain't our backyard, this is DC's backyard right here, you know what I'm saying? And it's getting real bad up there, get real dangerous. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. I was reaching out, and I had to find out a couple of dudes that was there. So they was already waiting on me before I got there.
Some of the homies from Florida?
Yeah, the homies from Florida, which I had knew other players from other parts of the country. I didn't know in my mind then that they was there until I got there. But I had them made a connection immediately once I knew I was going there with a homie from Florida. So he knew that I was coming there.
So how did that go, man?
Oh man, it was. I mean, I ain't like really give it much thought like the average person would that would be going to Big Sandy. Quite naturally, I had my own personal thoughts. I ain't finna sit here and talk like no tough nigga or nothing. I had my own personal thoughts, but I don't never go in them situations where I be feeling like I'm really in danger like that. Cause I ain't fucking with nobody, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to fuck with nobody for you to get in no shit. But going on the compound, if you get in some shit and you just got on the compound, then you ain't got no business on that compound. And that's real. Either they running you up or you just started some shit when you got there, this and that. Now, if you've been on that compound and something happened, that's a totally different ball game. But if you first get there, nah. So I wasn't even concerned about that. I remember the experience when I first got off the bus. You pull up into this, like, imagine you pulling up into like a garage. And when we pulled up into the garage, it's about 20 police standing there. I'm talking about these some intimidating looking white folks, man. I'm talking about Inez, Kentucky, them crackers up there is like the movie Wrong Turn. Like something wrong with them crackers up there. Like the women got humps in their back. You know, they got like a little patch of hair right here. All of like the women chewing tobacco. All of them got some kind of deformity. You can tell that up in the mountains that there's some inbreeding been going on. There's some fucking inbreeding been going on with them goddamn crackers. And I didn't know nothing about it when I first got there, I saw it. Cause it's like the whole staff there is white. And the dude said, hey man, a white dude, he said, man, don't never say nothing about the movie Wrong Turn, which I had watched Wrong Turn. And I thought about Wrong Turn. I said, oh shit, where the fuck they got me at, man? So anyway, they standing out there. And when we get off the bus, they do the little intimidating shit, looking at us, boom, you know what I'm saying, barking order, stand here, boom, 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 boom. Then they stand there, they say, look, if you is a rat, stand over here. If you a chomo means child molester / homosexual, and if you're just scared to go out there. Now, each one of these groups he just called have every reason to not want to go out there. Whether you're a snitch, whether you're a chomo, or whether you just a check-in, whether you just scared. Man, it was about maybe 125 of us on that bus. The lines filled up for the rats, about 10. The lines filled up for the chomo, about 15. And the line stood up over here probably was the most, over here about 30 dudes that was just scared to go out there. And these dudes, a lot of dudes that was scared to go out there, they wasn't no rat, they wasn't no homosexual or anything like that. They was just scared to go on that compound. It's something I couldn't understand, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just feel like if you got so far as to Big Sandy and you own that compound no matter where you come from, you should be ready for it. If you went that far to get there, you should be ready for it. Because if you a straight motherfucker and you ain't told on nobody and you solid, you don't have to be the toughest nigga in prison to fucking survive. You can be getting your ass beat every day, but you fighting every day. Nah, you ain't got to be tough. You ain't got to be no killer. You ain't got to be no motherfucking knife slanger. You ain't got to be none of that. You just be a man, respect people, mind your fucking business, and just stay out the way. And you can just glide through the motherfucking USPs. The most you might get into is one of your dumbass motherfucking homeboys might motherfucking get into something, and now y'all done had a meeting or something like that right then, and or either it might be a little mini something, meaning that you got homeboys that's in your car that's a part of Florida, Georgia, Alabama, LA, whatever. They might be assholes, so you got to manage them. So sometimes they may do shit that may get out of control, and sometimes fights happen. Sometimes riots doesn't happen like that. That's why you have to almost kill that cancer before it happened. You got to nip him in the bud and go ahead and get him somewhere else and tell him, no, look here, buddy, you need to try this somewhere else. But yeah, anyway, when I went there, they was on lockdown. Mexicans and the blacks got into a big riot at 4 different penitentiaries. So when I got to Big Sandy, they put me in the cell. They didn't put me in no confinement or nothing like that. They just put me in a regular cell, but the prison had been locked down, I think, at that point, maybe 3 months.
They put you in the cell with somebody or by yourself?
Yeah, they put me in the cell with a dude from Alabama named Chip. Solid dude. Good dude, man.
Oh, so they knew specifically to put you in the car with somebody from the South?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I was so seasoned at that point till I'ma sniff it out if you put me in the cell with anybody else. Like I'ma know. And you could have put me in the cell with anybody else. I'm not tripping about that, but they knew who not to put me in the cell with nobody with. Like white, they ain't gonna never do that. Spanish, they ain't gonna never do that. Crip blood, they ain't gonna never do that. DC, they ain't gonna never do that. They'll do it for somebody in the South, or they'll do it for somebody in the Midwest. They'll even do it for somebody from New York, Jersey, Philly, all that. We don't have no problems with New York, Jersey, Philly, Midwest, out west, and none of that stuff. So yeah, man, when they put me in there, it was cool. Let me tell you about like the first night I was in there, bro. The first night I was in there, right? So I'm tired. I done been on the plane all day. They done had me from these little holdovers, holding cell here for 3 hours, holding cell here for 3 hours, standing in this line for an hour, all this shit. I'm tired. So I get up in the bed. First me and the dude, we in the dude, once you go in the dude's cell in there, you pretty much, you want to introduce yourself, sometimes it can be 2 in the morning and you don't want to just have no full-fledged conversation, but you at least want to shake his hand, tell him where you're from and this and that, tell him you're official, boom, 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 boom. Sometimes dudes don't really go through it because a lot of them holdovers, they be overnight situations. But you still want to, I don't give a fuck. If you come in the cell with me at 2 o'clock in the morning, you better not come in that bitch quiet. Like, nigga, you better speak or say something, motherfucker. Don't come in this motherfucker and have me scared, because that's the worst thing you can do is scare me. But anyway, man, me and dude popped it off and shit, and he was just telling about what was going on there. And how, most pens, people didn't know that the USPs were so dangerous that they had to split the yards. And what I mean by split the yards is most prisons anywhere is just one big compound, but they have different units and all us mingle amongst each other in the wreck. Well, the federal USPs were so dangerous till they had to literally split the yards in half, meaning get a gate and run a gate through the whole prison, and this would be the east side, this here would be the west side. You have no reason on the east or the west. If you do, that's a violation. They were splitting the USPs like that. Now, Big Sandy was so different, right? This is how different they were. Big Sandy was split in 3. A, B, and C. I'm going to say it again. Big Sandy was split in 3 yards. Now, you would think that a dangerous prison like this is called divide and conquer. All right, man, we see these motherfuckers, they can't act civilized whenever we got them together, so we're going to split up. First, we're going to try to keep them together. Okay, that ain't going to work. We're going to split it in 2. That ain't going to work. No, we're going to split it in 3. Now this one prison is really 3 prisons because they got gates. Boom, 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 3 ways. But these niggas and crackers and Mexicans and everybody else, they still killing each other. Every day, the killing ain't stopped over there. They done broke this prison down in sections now, in little fucking sections. And they still killing like that. Because I done been at Big Sandy before to where this really one compound, like I said, but they got gates now running all through the prison. But I'm talking over the gate, the dude over there in B, I might be over here in C. But me and him never gonna physically, we ain't gonna never physically interact in any kind of way. But I can just yell at him through the gate. That's how they living over there, man, because of the so-called security measures, but it still doesn't stop nothing.
So what about your first night in there again? You were talking about the story that you
Oh yeah, man, when I
you
laid
couldn't
down.
sleep.
Oh yeah, man, I kind of got off, didn't y'all? But I laid down, man, and I heard a whole bunch of, I was asleep about an hour, and I heard a whole bunch of, like scratching, like scratch, 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 scratch. So I looked down at my celly, you know what I'm saying? And he down, I think he was reading a book or something, and I kind of dozed back off, and I heard it again. And I looked, and I say, homie. He said, yeah. I say, what the fuck is that? He said, nah, man, they just gonna chill, man. That's just them niggas sharpening their knives. So I said, sharpening their knives? I said, all right. So that wasn't strange because maybe a nigga next door to me is motherfucking sharpening his knife. But it kept going on, and I kept hearing different ones. So I got up again. This was about 20 minutes later, and he broke it down to me and say, this is when niggas sharpen their knives at Big Sandy. Anybody that done been to Big Sandy, I want y'all to get in the comments on this or whatever. Tell me that you haven't heard them knives all motherfucking night, nigga. All night in Big Sandy, I don't care. Nigga, I was there for 2 years, nigga, and I heard them every motherfucking night, nigga. For all you niggas that done been to Big Sandy, bet this shit, man. You hear it all night. Then they have motherfucking when you pull back your mattress, you know how they got like a little bunk bed. It's made of steel. When you pull this mattress back, bro, it's chunks of metal missing out of this motherfucker this goddamn big. Sometimes that bitch be 2 foot long. What that mean is what you're hearing all night is you hearing niggas in other cells sawing them bunks. They sawing them. Some of them even use dental floss. You know, dental floss is real motherfucking strong. I done seen niggas cut metal with motherfucking dental floss, bro. They'll sit there. I'm talking about these niggas will sit there sometime for hours at this shit. From 12 at motherfucking night, nigga, to 6 o'clock in the morning, them niggas are just motherfucking sawing like a motherfucker. Then, they had a little 10 lockers. You know how you open up the little lockers? Pieces of that bitch missing. Man, when you go to Big Sandy, man, straight up, dog, and you see how much metal is missing around that bitch, that's gonna scare the fuck out you niggas, dog. When you look in a cell, or you might go in this cell, and you might go in this cell, and go in that cell, and see how much metal missing out that bitch, then you see the chunks of metal missing out this bitch. And these crackers see this shit missing now. It ain't like they coming there saying, oh shit, they done chopped on our metal, we gonna feel this shit. Oh no, hey, fuck no, man, they leaving it just like that for your ass to see. 99, the biggest 2 charges that a man gonna catch at Big Sandy is a knife case or a stabbing case. See, me, I did 21 years. And I wasn't a knife toter every day in prison. I went through stages where I walked around with it in my pocket. I put it on a string and tied on my, my belt and all that shit. I went through those stages. But I know some niggas in Fed prison that walk around with their knife like it's their gun. Meaning you will never catch them without a knife, ever. You got some niggas in Fed that's like knife collectors, like, you know how niggas on the street, how they be fascinated with pretty guns and they collect them and all that? You got niggas in the Fed USP the same motherfucking way, nigga, about a motherfucking knife, nigga. The same motherfucking way. But I said that to say about Big Sandy. Is 98% of people at Big Sandy have a knife on them, whether you're black, white, Jew, Crip, Mexican, Christian, it don't matter. You're gonna be armed at that place. See, me, I didn't tote a knife around there because when I first got there, not that I didn't need one, and not that I haven't toted one, but when I first got there, I noticed I used to be in the day room, bro. And I'd be sitting there, we'd be sitting there looking at Love and Hip Hop or sports or the Monday night football game, some shit like that. And them crackers just bum rush in that bitch. Now, when they bum rush in that bitch, they looking for the nigga to flinch or who, you know what I'm saying, anything like that. Hey, come here. And when they get you, they gonna pat you down, they gonna get a knife off you. That's how they get a whole bunch of their knife bust. So I saw that early on when I got there. I said, ain't no way in the fuck. And then some niggas say, like, if you a nigga and you just play it cool when they come in there, boom, and you don't even flinch. They might just get your ass for that. So I said, hell no, I ain't getting booked like that right there. I'm trying to get off this motherfucking mountain. Because guess what? They done got me up here on this motherfucking mountain. If I get caught with this motherfucking fire, bitch, I'm going to be up here probably for the next 5 to 10 years. So ain't no way I can get caught with this fire. So listen, I get me a pair of old ragged ass gym shoes, get me a nice old bone crusher. By the way, that's what they call knives in prison. They don't call them shanks no more. They spliffs or whatever the fuck you call them. They call them bone crushers in the Fed, nigga. You know what that mean? That bitch crush bones, nigga. Bone crushers. So listen, I get that motherfucker, homie, and get that ugly motherfucker. Always kept me a little ice pick or something like that, something just to keep a nigga up off me. I really don't want to kill a nigga and then like that and catch a life sentence, but enough to motherfucking keep him up off me. The nigga I fuck. Now hold up, I will fuck him up if he a motherfucker. I'm gonna take that somewhere. But anyway, so I would get it right. Wrap it up in my shoe. Wrap it up in a piece of paper or something. Put it in my shoe and just put it by my cell door. That way, it's always accessible to me. Because you got to think, everything is going on in the unit. So if they do bomb rush in there and they pat me down, I don't have a motherfucking thing on me. Now, as far as the shoes that's outside of my motherfucking door, you might have to run the camera back on that. I don't know about that shit. I don't know how that shit got there, this and that, blah, blah, blah. That's how I always avoided catching the knife case stuff.
So you saying most of the violence always goes down in the unit?
Well, it could go down in the unit because you got to think that in each section also is 4 units. You know what I'm saying? Like you got A section, B section, C section. And all those sections, now that's 4 units. But you're not living with them, but you're going to wreck with them in that cage. So really got 12 units all together. A got 4, B got 4, C got 4.
And all of them go to the rec yard together?
Yes, each section, A, B, and C.
And all of them got their own separate rec yard?
No, we use the same rec yard, we just use it at the different times.
Oh, okay.
We use it, you know what I'm saying? We kind of share the same 3.
So y'all don't get wrecked morning, noon, and evening. Y'all just get wrecked one time?
Well, that's the thing. You almost hit it on the head. Is some days it might be morning, meaning that the B might have it Monday in the morning. C might have it that afternoon. Tuesday, they might end up switching that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, you would think, like I said, as segregated as it was, that it would have curbed the violence, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I don't be sitting on, I don't be sitting on here telling tough man stories, man. You can Google what I'm saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling all this because hopefully I can scare one of you young niggas, man. That's what I'm trying to do, man. Hopefully I can scare one of you young niggas so you won't take your mama through and my kids through. And I'm trying to repair relationships, and I don't know people, and people don't know me no more, and this and that. That's why I'm on this bitch, dog. I ain't on this bitch just talking motherfucking tough. I done been through this shit for real, man. I'm an old head, man. I'm an old head for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of this shit was going on what I be seeing. This shit ain't new to me, man.
I got a question for what's some of the dangerous things you seen in Big Sandy while you was there?
Man, one of the most dangerous things I seen, one of the most dangerous things I seen, when I say dangerous, I done seen where...
Violent then, let's say violent.
Okay,
what you
violent.
seen with your eyes, like you were like, man, this shit looks serious than where I just came from.
Man, I'm sitting there one night, I probably had done been there about a week. And I'm sitting there next to my homeboy. We sitting there, I think we were watching the BET Awards or something, because that's like a big thing in the Fed. When BET Award come on, niggas going to get, niggas going to put on their best motherfucking shoes and get a haircut and all that. That shit be like an event. They go get them a little bit of alcohol and some weed, might go and fry them some burritos or something like that. That's just our little enjoyment inside the Fed. So I'm sitting up in there, we chilling, we watching the BET Award. We probably hadn't been in about 30 minutes. And next thing you know, I heard a loud boom. So quite naturally, when you hear that inside a penitentiary, you gonna look. Boom. When I look, I see a goddamn Indian busting out the motherfucking door and about 3 more Indians behind him, and they stabbing the fuck out of him. They looked like in the room, goddamn it, they had them trapped his ass up in there, but they stabbing him in the neck. I'm talking about he fighting, he clawing, he trying to get away, but they on his motherfucking back stabbing. And really, I'm just sitting there, I'm like kind of looking at it now because it's in front of everybody. Everybody looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can't make no sudden moves, because you don't want to be the one to draw the tip. In those there situations, whenever a man is getting killed in front of you, do not stare. Act like it's not happening. Because if you be the one, meaning that the police looked at you and then looked at your eyes and they find out, you going to probably be the one dead next. So in that situation like that, yeah, bro, that was the crazy. It wasn't the crazy. I like had I saw some wild shit, but just to see that happen instantly, oh yeah, man, that shit was crazy. That's when I knew right there that, like, yeah, man, they rocking over here, man.
So it was turned up on a higher level than Coleman?
Oh, yes. I done saw some stuff at Coleman too, but Coleman wasn't as, Coleman was like a Southern Florida black. It was a Florida backyard, but it was also like it was just a lot of blacks there, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you got a lot of blacks together like that, and all us from the same state, is going to be segregated. So it was kind of segregated. We always, Florida. I got love for everybody from goddamn Pensacola to Miami, but I'm gonna keep it real. It was just too many of us was there. You got a whole gang of Tampa, a whole gang of Jacksonville, a whole gang of Orlando, a whole gang of Miami. Come on, y'all know what that's gonna be, man. You go to any federal city or state in that city, wherever the majority is gonna be, all of them gonna be segregated like that. That's just how it's gonna be. It ain't just no Florida thing.
So like at Pollock, you think it's segregated?
No, it's definitely ain't segregated at Pollock. What do you mean segregated?
Like all the niggas from New Orleans, they segregated.
Oh. Basically New Orleans run Pollock in a way. That's always been like their backyard.
Yeah, but I'm saying you got niggas from Baton Rouge.
Oh yeah.
Or they segregated like they were in Florida.
Yes.
Or they all rocking New Orleans. Flag.
No, they definitely segregated over there. Definitely. And then if they ain't, and I don't want to say it like that.
You can get the home on the phone?
They is in their own way.
You can get the homogene on the phone?
I don't know. I can try to do that right now.